health and fitness wise is
Sorry.
um my biggest struggle is nutrition. So I'm on the fitness, I do the fitness, I push myself with the weights and such. But like at those last like 5 pounds turned into the last 10 pounds, which like, it goes up and down. The business side of it, I feel that right now it's hard for me. Not that I'm like want to be done with the business part. It's more than my brain can handle with everything else that's been going on, I guess. So
which one do you want to work through today? Do you want to work through business stuff and what's going on there, or do you want to work through your own personal journey? Because they're obviously one and the same.
Yeah.
But which one more so?
Let's do the business part of it, because I'd love to be able to make it work, even though life has been overwhelming.
Okay, I love it. Okay, so when you say like, because I hear a lot of like stories, right? I hear a lot of like, the business is hard right now, life is overwhelming. So what are the facts?
The facts are I have kids home all the time with me. I have taekwondo that we go to in the evenings and, homeschool during the daytime. I have dogs we're taking care of here, there, and everywhere, I feel lately. And then I'm trying to stay in contact with my father and my grandma, who are both, in their cancer battles at the moment. My dad more so than my grandma. My dad goes in 5 days a week for radiation, and 1 day a week for his chemotherapy. And then he's always talking to his doctors, and I'm trying to stay in contact with them and see regularly, like daily, how he's doing and what, he's facing.
Okay, awesome. So, essentially what I'm hearing is like, you've got a lot on your plate, or you feel really busy, or which one feels more true?
I just feel like there's a lot on my plate. Like, I know I could fit other things in. It's just like, I get an idea. And if I don't write it down, when I do sit down to do something, I go, oh, I had an idea earlier, but now I don't remember.
Okay.
Kind of a thing.
So tell me about the last time, like specifically, when you went to work your business and life got in the way.
Generally, it's like I'll sit down and I'll like have out like my notebook or whatever, and then somebody calls mom or somebody calls me on the phone. Like, that was the last time I was sitting down working my business, and I got like, somebody came over to my house and knocked on the door, and then somebody unexpectedly called me and wanted to know about the cruise we went on recently and all the things. So then by the time I was done, the time block that I had set aside to work my business was then like, that time block was over. And so I had to move on to the next thing.
Okay. So when you were sitting down to work your business, and yes, let's take the example of someone came to knock on your door, right? Because yes, I feel like that's a little bit more like, you don't have to answer the phone, right? It's very easy to like reject it or send it to voicemail and call them back later, right? Mm-hmm. So, but when someone knocks on your door, it's a little harder to just like ignore them, right? So,
especially when it was my mother.
Yeah. So did you know she was going to stop by, or was it kind of a surprise? Okay.
No, it was a surprise.
Okay, awesome. So when you were sitting down to work and your mom came, what thoughts immediately came in your head when she walked in? Was it like oh yeah, she's here and now I have an excuse why I can't work my business? Or was it more of a seriously, mom? Like,
yeah, it was more of a seriously one, because like, I want to be able to work the business, but like, I haven't told her like during these hours I'm working, so she had no idea. And a lot of times I just sit down when I'm like, okay, kids are busy, I'm got 10 minutes, I'm gonna sit down and work. So she had no clue.
Okay. Okay.
And so, yeah.
Perfect. So, after that, your feeling towards your mom and, potentially the business, who knows, was what? Like one word answer. What feeling did you have in that moment?
Like, no, it was more like, I don't know a word. I was like, like that. I don't know the word for it.
Okay, so I can give some ideas, but you tell me if this is off
I
or
know.
wrong. So I'm thinking like potentially frustration or resentment or anger towards her,
I think
towards,
more just a, yeah, more just a frustration of like not being able to get the work done, and like not towards my mom necessarily, because she, I don't know. I don't feel resentment when family stops by and they need to stop by. I don't know. At least not with that one. That one I didn't feel bad for. So
okay, but you were frustrated. And what
yeah.
thoughts were playing in your head when you were frustrated? What voices were you, saying to yourself, to the situation?
Um, Probably things like, it's just kind of the work stuff's not meant to be, and I need to, spend the time with the family, which I do a lot of. Um,
Okay, no, that's
but at
good.
the same time, I mean, I still wanted to work the business because I still feel like I love what I do and I know it could help others, but there's just something that comes up all the time. So is how I feel.
Okay. Okay, so let's run through this real quick. So, a couple weeks ago, recently, you were sitting down to work the business and you haven't told anyone necessarily your work hours, your mom, maybe your kids, but your mom shows up and is at the door. So you open the door, you see your mom, and all of a sudden you're starting to feel a little frustrated. You're kind of, okay, this business maybe isn't meant to be. I need to spend time with my family, even though I do that a lot, right? And maybe I want to work the business, but my family matters a lot to me. So in that moment, what action did you take? Did you let your mom in? Did you?
Yeah, I let my mom in and we had a conversation, and then I believe I even left the house and we went and ran an errand with her. So
Okay. Did you at any point try to communicate like, hey, mom, can we actually do this a little later? This is the time that I set aside for business. Did you try to communicate that at all or?
no, I don't believe I did.
Okay. Okay. So you let her in, you had a conversation, you even left the house and ran an errand with her. Okay. And then from there, you manifested. I guess this just isn't meant to be. Family matters more. I want this business to work, but I need to spend time with my family, even though I do that a lot already.
Yep.
Right. So this is something that I want to teach you. This is called the push method. Okay. Because the more we can coach ourselves through stuff, the more we can recognize and realize I'm not trying to teach you not to have a head voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to teach you how to not take actions based on your head voice, right? So your head voice, if you remember from Summit, because I know you were there, your head voice is rooted in fear and scarcity and lack, right? But your heart voice is rooted in abundance and joy and future and potential, right? The things that can happen, right? So I'm not teaching you don't have a head voice, right? Because you're human and you have a head voice. Hello, I have a really, really loud head voice. Okay. I'm trying to teach you not to take actions based on that head voice. Okay. So
Okay.
let's run through this real quick, just so you can see how it all works together.
Okay.
The other day you were sitting down to work your business. You haven't really communicated your work hours to your mom. She came to the door, knocked on the door, you opened the door, you let her in, you had a conversation, you even left the house with her. The stories that started to play in your head were, guess this business isn't meant to be. My family matters more. I need to spend time with them, even though I already spend a lot of time with them. So then from there, you're manifesting. Yep. Guess this business isn't meant to be, right? Based on the actions that you took. You let her in, you had a conversation, you didn't try to communicate or tell her, hey, mom, can we actually chat in just a little bit? I want to do some work. Or can you go play with the kids while I sit down and do some work, right? So would you like to stay in this place, or would you like to make this business a priority?
Yeah. Make this business a priority.
Why?
Because of how it's helped me and how it helps me feel every day that I like participate in it and like do the things that are linked to it, fitness wise, but mentality and everything else, like I feel better. So it could help others feel better as well who, oh, is the door open? Sorry. So yeah, those things.
I love it. And your Enneagram 2 is showing. If you have any Enneagram 2 in you, like you just have a desire to help people. Okay. The timer went off, but I think this is huge. And I think this is really important. So I love your why. And that was my why for a very long time. And I want to give you some homework to really dig into your money why. What will making a lot of money do for your family? Okay. Because I know you. I know your situation. I know you personally. I know how hard you work with dogs and all the things to try to make some extra moolah, right? What would money do for your children, for your spouse, for you, for your mom? Because you have such a deep desire to be knit with your family, I want you to literally reflect. Journal is the best. So you're not just thinking it, but you're actually writing it out on paper. And you pick a number. I'm not going to put that number on you. $100. What would $100 do for my family this month? And like literally, where would it go? Because I think budgeting has become super sexy in my life. I love it. I really genuinely mean that. And the more I talk to people about budgeting and just like use that word in everyday life, it's funny to me how that's just not a thing. And I think it's a budget is, right? Like, thank you, John Maxwell, for creating this definition, is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. So sometimes when we're deep in that debt hole, right, or money hole, we get $100 and it's like, well, cool, but I don't even know where it went because I had so many things that it needed to go towards that I'm like not even that freaking excited about it because it's already gone and I don't even know where it went. Okay. But let's say $100, $1,000, $10,000, because I mean, hello, you can make whatever you want to make in this business, whatever you're willing and effort and all the things, the desire that you have. Yes. So I personally think you have a block with money and you can absolutely correct me if I'm wrong and take it in one ear and out the other. But I think sometimes in our culture and in our church, especially, it's like, oh, money makes people greedy. Money makes me, bad. The love of money is evil. The love of money more than God is evil. But there are a lot of good freaking people. Hello, Oprah. I see you with a lot of money. Okay. You're a good person. And money makes people more of what they are. If you're a bad person and you have a lot of money, you're going to be a really bad person. If you're a really good person and you have a lot of money, you're going to be a really freaking good person. And you're going to help a lot of people because of your abundance. Okay. So I want to invite you. How much money would change your family's life? Whatever that means. Those vacations that you get to go on, or letting Vaughn do a different job if you hate his job, or getting a private tutor to help teach your kiddos more differently, whatever, right? If you're a little overwhelmed with homeschooling, what if someone else homeschooled them instead, or you were able to put them in this co-op thing that costs a couple, blah, 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 whatever, right? Like family, money, how? Okay. Because I really think once you figure that out, it will be very easy to set some boundaries and to recognize and realize, hey, mom, I'm so glad you stopped by. I love it when you're here. Will you go play with the kiddos for 30 minutes? I'm just going to bust out some work real quick because I'm working towards. You got to tell her once. And then as she leaves, say, and just so you know, I'm choosing to work every day from 10 to 11. So if you want to stop by and hang out with the kids while I work, that'd be rad. Or just know that that's my work time. But I would absolutely love to go run errands with you and chat with you as soon as I'm done, or before, or whatever, right? And you have that conversation once, and then you never have to have it again, hopefully, right? Or
Right.
if you do and she forgets because she's human too, you just, oh, hey, mom, remember, this is my work time, but I'll call you later, or stop by in 45 minutes when I'm done, right? Does that help?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. We'll do one more because that went way longer than 10 minutes. Okay. Caroline and Mandy, you've both been coached before. So don't let this whole like, I've been coached before, so I'm not going to say anything, because you've both been coached before. So who wants to share something or work through something or whatever?
Do you have something, Caroline, you want to talk about? If not, I will.
I would think it would be good to dig into the money thing for me. I have a problem with that.
Okay. Okay. All right, let's do it. Because honestly, I don't think you're alone. I said alone.
I'm not along either.
You're not along either. Okay, let me set my timer for 10 minutes because it's more for me, just to like make sure I'm keeping myself on track. Okay, so tell me what's going on.
So I have been working on affirmations and creating a vision board this week. I've been doing Mandy's group so I can learn how to run a challenge group. And it's amazing. And so she sent me a link to one of Ashley's videos talking about affirmations, which was wonderful because I have always struggled with affirmations because my brain says this is crap when I try to tell myself things. And so I have been working on that, and I have found that I have a major problem with money and feeling like I'm not good at selling things, and nobody wants to buy anything from me, and um like somewhere in my head I know that that's not true, but I just can't seem to figure out how to get past that. And I know it's possible. Like, I have a brother who we're actually kind of similar in personality, but we fought like horribly when we were growing up, and because we're so similar. And he is amazing at sales. like amazing. And so it, it makes me feel like I know that it's in there somewhere, but I just can't figure out how to get past feeling like, this is stupid. Nobody wants to buy anything from me. And
Okay, no, I love it. Okay, I'm just gonna put a pause
so,
on that right there. So I would love to hear about the last time you were trying to sell something and no, it didn't go.
so, I had a friend right after I signed up to be a partner that I started posting on Instagram, and she messaged me and said that she was very interested. And so, she messaged me, it was literally probably 10 minutes after I posted. And I had spent like an hour putting together my post because I was so nervous about it, because I've never really posted on Instagram with any regularity before. And I did not even have a Facebook account. And so I was extremely nervous about it. So I texted Elizabeth and said, "What do? I don't know what to tell her. I don't know enough about what I'm doing yet to give her any information." And so Elizabeth sent me something and she said, this is what, and I made the mistake of like sending her too much information. And I did not hear from her back from her after that.
Okay,
And
did you reach out and ask her like, hey, I know that was a lot of information. Did you get a chance to read all that?
No, and I realized after a couple weeks, I was like, I probably should just message her and say, I'm sorry, that was way awkward. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I don't need to hose you down just because I feel like I've been hosed down with information.
Yeah.
But I think part of it is I haven't wanted to message her back because I'm like, well, she's not going to want to hear from me anyway. If she had really been interested, she would have messaged me back anyway. So
okay, I love this. Okay, I'm gonna pause you real quick because I hear a lot of stories and a lot of things. Remind me how many kids you have? 10?
10.
10. Okay. Have your children ever opened your messages?
Yes. In fact, I've had people send all kinds of weird things before because some of them have figured out how to do my passcode when they were too little to actually
Understand it. Yeah.
read.
Yeah, right? Yep. Okay, so is it possible that she opened it and was in the middle of something and was like, whoa, that's a lot of info, but I really do want to read it, but I can't.
Oh, totally possible, because she's in nursing school right now.
Okay. So is it also possible that she actually didn't even see it and one of her children accidentally opened it?
That is also possible.
Okay. So do you see how there's a lot of stories playing into, oh my gosh, I was so awkward. Oh my gosh, like that was too much information. Oh my gosh, I made so much mistakes. I have a major problem with money. I'm not good at selling things. No one wants to buy anything from me. If she was really interested, she would have reached out to me, right? Do you hear how
that's pretty much my brain right there? Yeah.
Yeah. That yes, I literally wrote down your words, right? So the fact is, a friend reached out to you on Instagram and asked you for information. You reached out to Elizabeth, you forwarded what Elizabeth sent. Maybe it was a little too wordy, maybe not, right? That's a story too, right? You sent her the information that Elizabeth sent you. Was it too much information? Was it just the right amount of information? I don't know. Maybe she just didn't have a moment to read it right then and forgot about it, right? But now, in my experience, she might be wondering, because especially when it comes to people who are starting a new business, a lot of people quit. A lot of people quit, but they don't want someone who's going to quit.
I know she has liked several of my posts that I've done since then.
She wants you to reach out to her. She doesn't know, or in her head, she's thinking, well, maybe she doesn't want to coach me, or maybe she's too busy for me because I know she's got a lot of kids. And she's probably thinking, well, if she really wanted to help me, she would have asked again if I'd read all that, or if I was still interested or whatever, right? So there's stories going on both ends, right? But you're the leader, you're the coach, you're the one who needs to reach out to her and say, yo, I have not forgotten about you. No worries if you haven't even gotten to read all that yet. Did you have any questions for me? Right? And the follow-up is huge, not just for making the sale, but also for showing the person who's gonna choose you, I'm not gonna
That I'm gonna show up. Yeah.
I care about you. I'm not going to forget about you. You're not just going to be another name and another sale and another dollar in my bank. You're going to be a person that I remember and that I care about. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when she reached out to you, you had all these stories playing in your head, right? What feeling did that create in your body when she did not respond to you?
I was like, oh crap. Well, I just burned that bridge.
Yeah. And what one word feeling was in what happened? Like frustrated, embarrassed?
Disappointed.
Okay. Love it. And then from there, right after this interaction, what did you do?
Lost steam for a couple of days.
Meaning what?
Like I didn't, so like she posted something, I think it was one of her kids had a birthday, and like I probably normally would have commented, and I didn't, because I was like, well, maybe she's irritated with me here.
Okay. Awesome. And then did you continue to post?
Yes.
Okay. You did continue to post. Did you like message anybody else or
No.
invite anybody? Okay. No.
It kind of scared me from saying anything to anybody else without them reaching out first,
Okay.
because I don't want to drive all my friends away.
So I have a question for you.
Sure.
Has Elizabeth driven you away with her sale to you?
No.
Have I driven you away? Even though
No.
I didn't sell to you, I sold to Elizabeth though. Right? So do you see how that's a story, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a story. So I'm just going to play this back to you real quick and correct me if you hear anything that sounds off. Okay. Friend messaged you on Instagram. Super interested in what you're doing. She messaged you 10 minutes after you worked really hard on this post. Okay. Right after that, you reached out to Elizabeth, asked her for help, sent what Elizabeth sent to you, and she didn't respond back. So then a whole bunch of stories started playing in your head. Wow, I have a major problem with money. I'm not good at selling things. No one wants to buy anything from me. If she was really interested, she would have read that and responded to me. Crap, I just burned that bridge, right? And from there, you're feeling super disappointed. Super disappointed, super scared. So you lost steam for a few days. You saw her do a birthday post and you didn't comment back because you thought she might be mad at you and you didn't want to like do anything that way. You didn't continue to invite anybody because you were nervous and scared about burning more bridges, right? And so therefore you are manifesting, I'm not good at selling things. No one wants to buy anything from me and I'm burning bridges, right? Do you see how that, like literally your actions are manifesting the thing you don't want, right?
Yep.
So the power is in changing the actions and trying to see the story differently. Okay? Because the facts are the same. You can't change that, right? She messaged you on Instagram. You asked Elizabeth for help. You sent what Elizabeth sent you. She didn't respond. Those are the facts. Okay? But if you change the story that plays afterwards, she probably didn't have time to read my message. I'm going to reach out to her and see if she got a chance to read that. Your story changed. Your actions changed. And then what does that manifest? Maybe you're going to make a sale. And maybe she's going to realize and see, oh, she cares about me. She does remember me. Okay, cool. I think I can trust this human with my money, with my health. I'm going to invest in her. And then all of a sudden you're manifesting. Look at that. I'm good at sales. I just did that, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. One more proof that I want to help you see, because you got 10 kids. And I had a huge block with sales. Okay. And it wasn't until I realized, and I literally wrote this down just the other day, but the definition of sales is helping someone have a transformation inside or outside that they could not have for free. Right? Selling is literally just an exchange. And we sell all the freaking time. Sales gets such a bad rap. Why? Because people have issues with money. They want it, but then they don't know what to do with it when they get it. So then they feel icky for wanting it, or stupid because they lost it, or desperate because they need it, or whatever, right? Like, I would really suggest
All of the above.
all of the above, right? I would really freaking suggest You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero for anyone who has ever read it and needs to read it again. For anyone who's never read it and wants to read it, it is amazing for overcoming all the things that I just said. Okay. For helping you. It's a good stepping stone. It's not going to erase everything. You got to do the work, right? But first of all, read that book. Second of all, sales. Okay. When was the last time one of your children didn't want to do something and you convinced them that they needed to do it? Tell me about that.
Every dang day.
Okay. Tell me a specific example today. What happened today that someone didn't want to do something and you convinced them that they needed to?
Andrew didn't want to do his math. He's my 4th grader who's homeschooling right now. And told him, you have to get it done because otherwise you're going to be behind and then you won't finish your math and then you'll have to do 4th grade again and you'll be super embarrassed. And
did he do his math?
Yeah.
Guess what? You're good at sales. You literally made a sale, right? Was there an exchange of money? No, but there was an exchange of energy, right? You are trying to teach him and convince him math matters. This matters. You need to do it, right? And you sold the importance of math in his life. You did it. Okay. So there's another book that I really love that helped me with my block with sales called Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone. But that's literally all the book is about, is that concept of you are either selling something or being sold to at pretty much every moment of every day. Right now, I am selling Sell or Be Sold to you. I'm trying to convince you that it's worth your time and energy to read it, right? I am selling you on that. Yes. Earlier, I was, trying to sell this concept of like push coaching, that it's important to know it and to recognize your facts and your stories and your feelings and your actions and your manifesting, right? Like every minute of every day, we're either selling something or being sold to. And there's nothing wrong with being sold to, right? That's another way of saying you're learning, right? Or you're gaining something that you didn't have before, right? And selling is just stepping into the teacher role. right? I have
Yep.
something that you need. So let's exchange, whether it's information, money, whatever, doesn't matter. But that's all selling is. It's just an exchange of energy for knowledge, for freedom, for power, for whatever it is that the person on the other end is looking for. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Was that helpful?
Very.
Okay. Cool. I really suck at sticking with my 10-minute timer, but we'll get better. We'll get faster. It's all good. Okay. And you guys, I have to tell you something. So this is like kind of just a cool thing. But so we had our like declaration of like tithing, right? And we realized that we were behind. So just all this money talk, right? And so we had to pay like $3,000 in tithing to be able to say,
Ouch.
yes, we are full-time payers. And so, I mean, it was fine. I'm great. It was fine. But today I had this like really strong feeling that I should look into this letter that I got and realized that when I was a teacher, how many years ago I taught, I stopped teaching in 2016. Okay. So however many, 7 years ago, when I was a teacher, I started a retirement fund. And guess how much money was in my retirement fund? $2,400. Okay. So it's not exactly what we just gave up in tithing, but pretty darn close. So I just like found $2,400 that's just been sitting there waiting for me for the last 7 years. So that's pretty rad. So all that to say, especially if you're Christian, especially if you're religious, money is not bad. I truly believe there's a financial like resilience class put on by the Church of Jesus Christ. And we took it in 2020 and it was huge for our mindsets and just really realizing that Heavenly Father really does want us to have a lot of money, because when we're good people with a lot of money, we do a lot of freaking good. So just wanted to like put that little plug out there for you, for anybody who needed to hear that today. Okay. So my friends, let's go make a lot of money by helping people. Yeah. Because we're good humans. Yes. Okay. Anybody else want to share anything before I let you go? Okay. I love you. Let me stop the recording. Let's take a picture.